Get set, podcast listener, and be ready to win with your mentor, motivator, and marketer, Cam Roberts. Grow your business and achieve your goals quickly with the latest tips, tools, and tactics on business, success, and marketing. Subscribe now and download your free resources at camroberts.com.au.
Hey, Cam Roberts here. Thank you for tuning in to the podcast. On today's episode, we are talking about how to crush it as a consultant, how great consultants can build a fantastic consultant business, how they can influence people, make a lot of money along the way, and how you can do it too. There are 7 things that I'm going to unpack, and you'll want to stick around for the 7th one. It's the best one, and it's the most impactful. So let's dive right into it. First off, let's start with what is a consultant. Now, a consultant, in my mind, is someone who is highly paid for their expertise and their knowledge to solve problems at speed. At speed is the key word here. No one is going to pay you a lot of money to solve problems really slowly or to solve problems that take months or years. People want to pay for speed. So as a highly paid consultant that charges high ticket items, by the way, you can sell low ticket as a consultant, you can sell courses and all that stuff, but if you sell courses and products as a consultant, I'm not saying you shouldn't, it's a very scalable way of building a business. However, as a consultant, you want to make sure that you do have the higher ticket items at the back end. Sure, use your products at the front end, use your courses at the front end to get people in, to build the community, but you've got to have those higher ticket group items and higher ticket one-on-one items at the back end, and they're your big cherries, if you like, right? They're your slack adjusters, as Dan Kennedy used to call them, and the slack adjuster is a very high ticket item that makes up for all of the slack for all of the other products. For example, if you've got a $100,000 product that you're selling or a $100,000 service, it takes as much money, energy, and effort to sell one $100,000 product as what it does to sell a $100 product 1,000 times. But the $100 product, you've got to sell 1,000 times to 1,000 people. The $100,000 product, you only need to sell once to one person. So it's a numbers game. So let's dive into it. First and foremost, you need to do your research. You never want to invent the wheel here. So use Google. Google is a consultant's best friend. Use ChatGPT. Use any AI that you can get your hands on and do some research. Go into SEMrush, do a keyword finder, watch YouTube videos, listen to podcasts, and build up a data bank of research of people who are already doing something like what you're doing. It doesn't have to be exactly the same, but something like you're doing, and know that if you did that and followed the same steps, you could get the results. So when I'm saying do your research, what you're researching is this question: is there a starving crowd for my product or service as a consultant? See, what you want to do is you want to create something that has a hungry, starving crowd, because a hungry, starving crowd will buy from you. If they're not hungry and if they're not starving, they'll think about it, and you're going to have to do a lot more selling to twist their arms. But a starving crowd are people who will buy from you based on their needs, their wants, desires, fears, frustrations. So that's really important. So step number 1 is do your research, never invent the wheel, find out what other people are already doing well and copy that. Number 2, uncover the problem that your potential prospects, members, clients are facing. So when you think about a heart surgeon, people go to a heart surgeon for one thing only. There's something wrong with their heart. They don't go to a heart surgeon to find out if they need to get their teeth cleaned, or if they've got a cavity in their teeth, or their ears need cleaning out, they've got a build-up of wax in their ears, or they broke their big toe. None of that. Although that doctor, that heart surgeon who has gone through medical school, could probably advise lots of people on what to do with their ears, their nose, their broken foot, that person is a heart surgeon. They specialize in fixing hearts, you see. So when someone goes to them, there's already that pre-frame that they're not going to be asked questions about their big toe, their broken foot, their sore nose, their itchy ear, or anything like that. It's all about the heart. Same with a family law specialist, someone that specializes in divorce, for example. You know, you're not going to go to that person for commercial law and vice versa. So it's really important as a consultant that you be really clear about the niche or the area that you're a consultant on. You don't want to be a generalist. You want to be a specialist. Now, you can be a specialist that operates at a very high level, but that has different tiers of services or different tiers of products. But you want to be very clear that when someone looks at your LinkedIn profile as a consultant, when they go to your website, it's very clear about what type of consultant are you. Are you the consultant that helps tradespeople grow their business? Are you the consultant that helps lawyers? Are you the consultant that helps other digital marketing agencies? Like, what sort of consultant are you? Are you the LinkedIn consultant? Are you the AI consultant? Are you a project manager consultant, management consultant? Are you a leadership consultant? So what sort of consultant are you? And then once you nail that, you can start on the next step, which is number 3, and that is building your brand. So number 3, build your brand. So as a consultant, you need to build a brand that attracts, but more importantly than attracting the right person and the right prospects, you need to repel the wrong prospects, the wrong people. So when you build your brand, you need to use language, colors, images that attract the ideal prospect, but also repel the wrong type of prospects. And that's really important. So think about the colors that you want to use. Think about the images that you use. Think about the words that you say, not just on your website, but in every social media post that you put out there, every podcast you produce, every YouTube video that you create. All of that language, all of that content has got to be repeated over and over again. Never get tired of telling your story, one of my old mentors used to say to me. And it's the same with your content, your ideas, your information that you create. You want to make sure that it attracts your ideal prospects, but also repels those that aren't suitable for you. Because the last thing that you want is a whole bunch of people filling out your web forms every week, buying your products that can't be upsold, filling out your forms, booking appointments with you that are not qualified to buy. Okay, I know even in my business, if I get someone fill out my forms and then go through the funnel and end up as an appointment, and then I look at their website online, I look at their LinkedIn profile, and if I see that they've made their way through the funnel and they're just using that opportunity to book a time with me to suss me out or get new ideas, I'll just cancel the appointment and I'll send all of the information they need to know via email. I'm not in the business of wasting my time with tire kickers, and neither should you. So you want to make sure that you create the brand that attracts people, but also create the brand that repels people. And for some people who know they should be repelled but still slip through the gaps, don't be scared to cancel those appointments. Don't show up to those appointments as a highly qualified specialist consultant. Number 4, build a better mousetrap. So as a consultant, to crush it, as a consultant, you need to build a better consultant mousetrap. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, you need to have a bigger, better bait. So a bigger, better bait is something that stands out outside of what your competition is doing. And your competition isn't just other consultants who are doing exactly what you're doing, but your competition online is other people who are also buying paid advertising, other people who are also bidding for similar keywords or targeting similar audiences. Your competition is wherever other people are spending their money. So you might be a consultant that's teaching trades business, or a consultant that's teaching, say, agencies or consulting to other agencies, or a leadership consultant. And then you've got to think, well, who's my competition? Well, your competition is whoever else your potential prospect is spending their money with. So if they're spending their money with people buying courses, that's your competition. If they're spending their money going to live events that are put on by SaaS, software as a service companies, well, they're your competition. Because what you've got to do is you've got to get those potential prospects to stop spending money over there with someone else and spend it with you instead. Now, the way that you do that, as I said, is to have a bigger, better bait. And what that means is you need to build a better mousetrap, have a bigger, better bait, so that you can capture more potential leads into your consulting funnel, into your consulting programs, so people can experience you, know, like, and trust you to buy your products, buy your services, and then upscale into being a highly paying client or high paid client. Number 5 is make sure you test various pricing strategies and various pricing tables. Never be scared to change your approach until you succeed. When you think about what an athlete does, they'll train all year for they'll train for 6 months, say for the summer season, and they're constantly testing and measuring things. They never stick to one thing, and you should be the same as a consultant. Try testing different pricing tables, different pricing tiers. Have at least 3 tiers available. Test it to a handful of people when you jump on the Zoom calls and you jump on the sales calls with them. Test it. See what feedback you get. See if it's easy to sell or you think it's hard to sell. Sometimes if it's hard to sell, it's not just the price, it's the way that you're unpacking it. So, a $10,000 product is easy to sell if it solves a $100,000 problem, you see. So you've got to be able to educate people and show them that they have a $100,000 problem for them to buy your $10,000 product. And the same is true if you want to have a $200,000 product or service or a $1 million product or service. Well, that needs to solve a $100,000 or $500,000 problem. So having a bigger, better bait and then having the right pricing tables and tiers will allow you to convert more of your ideal clients more often. Now, number 6 is to consider who is doing the selling. As a highly paid consultant or a consulting specialist, you've got to ask yourself, are you good at sales? Now, if you're not good at sales, then you need to be great at marketing. So if your sales let you down, well, then you need to have fantastic marketing that positions you as the highly paid expert so that as people come through your funnel and then land on your calls, your webinars, go to your live events, when the call to action is put out by yourself, they've already been pre-framed. You've already had a goodwill sequence. They already have made a picture up in their mind of who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And then what you need to do is just seal the deal, right? Now, if you're too busy doing your thing, creating things, doing the consulting program, at some point to scale, you will need salespeople, you will need appointment setters. And that's one of the things that I help people with is I help them scale and grow their business and scale and grow their consulting business by putting the right people in place. So sometimes those right people are, funnel builders or graphic designers or social media experts or paid advertising experts. Other times those people are salespeople or appointment setters. And so as a fractional CMO myself, one of the things that I am is a fractional CMO and a consultant expert is I have access to those people or those types of people. I know where they are. I can get a hold of them very quickly. I have a great network of connections. So you need to make sure that if you're not great at selling when you start off as a consultant, or maybe you've been in the consulting business for a while now and you're just not hitting those ceilings that you want to, then maybe it's time that you really knuckle down on your consulting marketing and then outsource your sales, right? Outsource your sales to sales closers and appointment setters and let them close the deals, follow up people, chase people, convert those people into sales. Now, the 7th and final one leads on from number 6, and that is promote. You cannot sell a secret as a consultant. If you're a secret somewhere on the internet and people cannot find you, if you're not posting on social media at least 3 times a day in multiple different platforms, if you're not running paid advertising, if you're not creating content that can be found by Google and can be found by ChatGPT and AI search engines, if you're not creating content that can be found by social media tags, you need to get busy. Now, if you're already too busy with your life, maybe you've got some family things, maybe you've got sport, maybe you're just busy with business, well, then you need to outsource this stuff. You need to find someone that can run your ads. You need to find someone that can run your social media. You need to find someone that can run your SEO. Otherwise, you've got to do it yourself, because you cannot sell a secret. There's no sales being made by people who are secretly hiding somewhere on the internet. The only way that you can grow a consulting business is by promoting yourself online organically through organic content. That's content you create on your website. That's content you create on other people's website. That's content you create through published PR, websites, or anything organic you can get your hands on. You should be doing that on a frequent basis. The second way is through social media. I already touched on that. You've got to be out there 3 times a day. People like Gary Vee talk about being on social media and posting up to 8 times a day. So what is it that you're doing across different channels? And when I say posting 8 times a day, that's not creating a post. You might create 1 or 2 posts a day, but the other 6 or 7 are comments or likes or things like that. So you can automate a lot of that on things like LinkedIn. There's tools that you can use to automate the commenting, to automate the liking, and on the other social channels, get someone to do it for you if you don't have the time. But you've got to be active on those channels. Be seen commenting on other people's videos on YouTube, other people's videos on TikTok and Instagram, and just so you're out there everywhere so people can see you. And the last one about promote. So promote organically, promote on social, and then promote through paid advertising. The 3 ways that you can promote through paid advertising are: number 1, paid social media ads. Number 2, paid Google ads, and that includes YouTube advertising as well. And number 3, paid programmatic advertising, which is contextual advertising, and that's advertising on the internet based on people's behavior, and they see your ad on the internet based on what they're already looking at, opening, saying on their phone, and things like that. So they are the 7 things that you need to be doing if you want to grow and scale your consulting business. If you're a consultant and you're listening to this and you're thinking, Cameron, that all sounds great, but I don't know where to start. Well, that's fantastic. I've got a couple of programs that I run for consultants just like you. And if you're interested, what you need to do is go to camroberts.com.au. If you're listening to this on my website, you're already there anyway, but it's camroberts.com.au. On most of my pages, there's a form. If you fill out that form, we can have a discussion either with myself or it will go through to one of my team, and we can have a discussion about where your consulting business is at the moment, where you want to get to, and how we can help you get there. So that is camroberts.com.au. All right, until next time, thank you very much for listening to the podcast episode. I wish you well, and I'll see you on the next episode.